Hey guys! Abruptly decided to film because I had this idea. It is December 5th today. Reach my goals for like reading and movies at the end of the year. I thought it'd be kind of fun if I made a video of me trying to reach that goal because I thought it would like motivate me, and then, you know, maybe this will encourage somebody else to also do like a reading or a movie goal in the new year. So to tell you where I am right now, my reading goal is 30 books this year and I'm at 26, so I have 4 more. I'm reading The Maidens right now. I am trying to watch 100 movies because that's like kind of what my goal normally is to watch 100. And I've gotten years, like I think 2 years ago I was like, way past that goal. I was like 160 movies or something like that. This year I'm at, I want to say 73. I think I'm at 73. I'll check my list to let you know the exact number. I watched All Quiet on the Western Front last night, which was like a very sad war movie, and it's kind of about the misconceptions people can have when joining the military. So it follows like there's one main boy, but it's like a group of 4 boys who enlist in the German military for World War I, and kind of about it not being what they expected. It's pretty gruesome, it's pretty dark, so like prepare yourself if you're gonna watch it. It's also like a remake. I'm pretty sure this is the 3rd time this movie's been made. I thought I would just take you along with me, maybe have some fun, and we'll see if we can crush out this goal. What's up, team? What's up, squad? What's up, gang? So it's 10 o'clock. I'm so tired. So I'm trying to find like the shortest movie that doesn't take a lot of effort because my brain is like, it has like no ability to exert effort right now. So I found A Cinderella Story Christmas Wish. So it's a Cinderella story starring Laura Marano. So I just checked in my little book where I write down all the movies I've watched, and I've watched 73. So I have 27 left, and after this it'll be 26 hopefully. Hey guys, so I have just small updates. I actually haven't read even a little bit since the first time I talked to you. I think it's like 2 days later, but I have watched more movies, so we're making progress on that goal. So the last time I spoke to you, the last movie I had watched was All Quiet on the Western Front. After work, I've been like fighting for my life, just so tired. But I'm like, I have things to do. I need to accomplish things. I need to do things that are fulfilling to me. I watched A Cinderella Story Christmas Wish, and it was really bad as expected. The reason I watched it was because I knew if I fell asleep I could watch the rest in the morning and I wouldn't really care that much because it wasn't like that deep. Plus I kind of enjoy watching like Hallmark movies during the Christmas season. It's like kind of nice to just like watch these like really fluffy romances. So that one's about, she's working at a like Santa's workshop basically, so she's like an elf, and the love interest is placed like the Santa character at the mall or whatever, Santa's village, so like kids come, you know, that type of deal. And the whole thing is that apparently they can't tell what each other look like because he's wearing a Santa beard and she's wearing a wig with elf ears, and it's like no deception whatsoever. Like you can clearly tell which each person looks like. And he plays like a famous, I don't know, his family's rich, so he's famous for that reason, I guess. It was bad. I think I gave it 1 star. Since then, I have also watched Bullet Train last night. I almost forgot because it got put on Netflix. The movie itself looked really good, and I actually, like, some of the actors in it were so good. Brad Pitt plays, not a hitman, but he's like hired to do tasks. So like his task for this movie is to get a case, like steal a case. And so the case is on a bullet train in Japan. And so there's like multiple people trying to get the case at once. Some of the other people trying to get the case their codenames are Tangerine and Lemon, and I think they're the stars of the show. They're really, really funny. Joey King is also another person trying to get the case, and I thought she did pretty well too. It's like really action-packed, but again, I was so tired last night that I had to rewind the ending like 7 times because I kept falling asleep. And so I'd like nod off, and then I'd realize I didn't know what happened, and I would rewind again, but I wouldn't change anything else, so I would just fall asleep again. So I'm not even kidding. I think like 7 times, I don't think is an exaggeration. And someone called me, and so I answered the phone, and then I realized that I was like falling asleep. So like I took a lap and then I came back and watched the ending. I gave it 3.5 stars. I talk for so long in these clips. And since then I have watched another Hallmarky type movie, and it was called Falling for Christmas, which is Lindsay Lohan's kind of like trip back to the screen. It was like good. It was very, well, okay, good is a strong word. It was very Hallmarky and it was kind of boring. I'm like 90% sure that I've seen this exact plot before in a Hallmark movie. The whole plot is that Lindsay Lohan's character, which her name is Sierra, is really rich and she's dating this boy who sucks, and they go skiing and she falls down the hill and she loses her memory, and another guy finds her and he's poor and humble and loving, and so she falls in love with the nice guy basically. And if that seems like a spoiler, what did you think was gonna happen? 1 star 2, because I was like, it was good enough. I felt bad giving it a half star, so I was like, 1 star it is. I'm gonna be at 76 movies, which means I have 24 more to go to reach 100. I'm gonna watch another Christmas movie right now because, you see if you can see, right there and also right here, I got some furniture. I'm gonna have a coffee table. So I'm gonna build this furniture and watch a Hallmark movie, because then I don't have to pay, I keep calling it Hallmark movies, but I just mean like cheesy Christmas movie. That way I don't have to pay that close of attention to the movie, not like I'm watching like Fight Club or something intense. So I thought I'd do a fun little time lapse just to mix up this vlog. Table. Hi team. So I've actually started reading again. I genuinely think it's been like a week. This book is demonstrably slow. I'm on page 102 right now, and I feel like we could have learned everything we know in like 25 pages. I'm gonna keep going. Hugs and kisses. What's up team? So been a little bit since I last talked to you. I have read more. I am on page 193, okay? So I think I'm over halfway now. I'm still reading The Maidens. This is taking me ages. It is Tuesday, December 13th. So I really want to finish this by this weekend and then start something new. It's been a minute, but I finished The Maidens a few days ago, and I thought I would just talk to you about it. So today is the 18th. I gave this 2 stars. The reason I bought it was because it's dark academia, and this author, Alex Michaelides, I'm not really sure, I do apologize. I can barely pronounce my own name, so I really am sorry. He also wrote The Silent Patient, and my roommate read The Silent Patient, and instead of me reading it, I asked her just to tell me everything that happens in it. So I know like what happens in The Silent Patient, and this book is actually set in the same universe as The Silent Patient, so that's kind of fun. I do like when authors like build a universe. Anyways, this book is about a woman named Mariana who is a group therapist, and so she's around 30, and she gets a call from her niece that her friend has been murdered at Cambridge University, and that's also where Mariana went. And so Mariana races to Cambridge to comfort her niece and kind of figure out what happened. And kind of what ties into this is Mariana lost her husband about a year ago, and so she's still kind of like learning to cope without him, and she's still very heavily grieving him. So it kind of like those two things kind of come together. And I will say the person who I thought was the murderer wasn't the murderer, which I love, but I didn't really like who it ended up being. The one thing I didn't like with this author's writing style is she tells you everything. It reads like a screenplay almost, where it's like the person walks in, they turn on the light, they walk forwards, they look around at their environment, and they see this, and this. So that was The Maidens. I also thought I would tell you the movies I've watched, because I have watched a lot more movies. I watched The Princess Switch. So this one is a Vanessa Hudgens movie, and I actually like, considering it's like very much the Hallmark movie genre, I did quite like this one using Hallmark movie standards. So it's about Vanessa Hudgens, who's, I can't remember their names for the life of me, I'm sorry. One of the Vanessa Hudgenses is a baker from like California or something. She's from America. And then she's going to a baking contest in Moldova or some fucking made up country. And she meets a princess or like a duchess who looks just like her, who is set to marry the prince. And so she wants to learn about being like a normal person, so they switch places. And of course, so sorry, this is a spoiler, so if you don't want to know what happens, skip like 20 seconds. The American Vanessa Hudgens falls in love with the prince, and the Duchess Vanessa Hudgens falls in love with her, the baking Vanessa Hudgens' baking partner, okay? So that's the first one. I do know there's like 3 movies, I'm pretty sure. And I was gonna try to watch the second one today, but I didn't get to it. So I'm probably going to watch the second one. It is like a really corny movie, but Vanessa Hudgens acts quite well in them, I think. And then I watched The Christmas Chronicles, which is another like Christmas movie. It is Kurt Russell as Santa Claus, and then it's like 2 kids who pretty much carry the whole movie, and it's them helping Santa Claus save Christmas. I've heard really good things about it. I thought it was kind of boring. I thought the kids were really good. The kid's father passed away, and so they're both kind of like struggling with living without him now, and their mom works at the hospital and she's really busy all the time, and so the son is older and he's acting out, and the daughter is trying to like cope with things going kind of all over the place. Okay, and then I watched Southpaw, which my friend Taylor loves, so I kind of watched it because I know she really liked it, and I do really like boxing movies, but this movie is not as much about boxing, and I do think it's really formulaic. So it's Jake Gyllenhaal is the boxer, and it's him. He's like doing really well. He's like undefeated, and then something really unexpected happens in his life, and it's him trying to cope with like basically losing everything. And so it's him getting ready for like the fight of his life, basically. It was good, but like whenever I watch a boxing movie, I always compare it to a Cinderella story. A Cinderella story, right? It's a boxing movie with Russell Crowe. And I used to watch it with my dad when I was really little. I've watched it like quite a few times, and it's such a good boxing movie. While I was watching Southpaw, I was like, damn, I really want to watch Cinderella Story right now. So if you're gonna watch a boxing movie, I highly recommend Cinderella Story. So like whenever I'm watching a boxing movie, I always compare it to Cinderella Story. And is it Cinderella Story or Cinderella Man? I think it might be Cinderella Man. I think I might have fucked that whole thing up. It is Cinderella Man. So sorry for calling it a Cinderella Story that whole entire time. So sorry. Cinderella Man is the boxing movie. Then I watched Uncharted because I already knew it wasn't like super good. I like Tom Holland and I like treasure movies, and I really like Uncharted the game. I still watch Jacksepticeye, but I watched him play Uncharted 4, I want to say. I just watched some gameplays of like the more recent Uncharted, and I thought they were like really fun games to watch. So I thought it was okay. Tom Holland is literally playing Spider-Man in this because, okay, multiple things. In the Uncharted games, the main character's name is Nate or Nathan Drake, and he's pretty old. He's like, compared to Tom Holland anyways, he's like he's like early 40s or something like that. And Tom Holland is like clearly 20, so they really aged down Nate so that Tom Holland could be in this movie. I think Tom Holland did a good job, but he's literally doing, like, I've seen all his Spider-Man movies and he's literally just playing Spider-Man. Like the gymnastics of it, he's literally just Spider-Man in this movie. And so it's like, it kind of pulls you out because you're just like, the roles are just too similar. And I'm pretty sure they're in New York for both. Then I watched Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio because I thought I heard bad things about it, and then I've checked other reviews and they're good. Like all the reviews are good for it. And so I'm like, where did I hear that it was bad? I cannot find them anymore. It was okay. I'm sorry, I'm saying everything is okay right now. I just can't. I haven't watched a movie lately that I like loved. I'm like really trying to find that again. But it was really interesting. The stop motion is like nothing I've ever seen before. It's really unique. I'm not a personal fan of stop motion because like Wallace and Gromit scared me a lot when I was little. I know I've talked about this in videos before, but Wallace and Gromit really scarred me. But the animation is like, it's like unnerving a little bit. Like the movements in the eyes, particularly the eyes, are a little weird. And Geppetto, I'm assuming most people know kind of the general plot of Pinocchio, which going into it, I didn't realize how much I forgot. But Geppetto is like Pinocchio's dad, is played by the guy who plays Filch in Harry Potter. So I thought that was really funny. He plays Pinocchio in Mussolini's Italy. So it's based in like the time of Mussolini's regime, and so it's an anti-fascist movie, and it's also got a lot of religion in it, which I'm always a little hesitant when religion is in movies because I think it can be really messy sometimes. I'm sure it's more nuanced than I'm educated on, and I'm sure Guillermo del Toro knows what he's doing. Moving on. Then I watched Baby Driver, which I've already seen Baby Driver before, but I was struggling one day so like deeply on what I wanted to watch. I like could not decide. I went back and forth like a million different places. And then I went into like my Vudu account or whatever that has all the movies I own, and I saw Baby Driver and I was like, dang, I haven't watched this in forever. I think it's kind of a problematic movie because, you know, there's a lot of people in it who've had allegations against them. Like there's definitely a topic on like what is okay to consume when people who are problematic are in it. I owned the movie before any allegations came out, and I'm not giving them any more money by watching it now. So I just want to say, if you're considering watching Baby Driver, just be cognizant that some people in it are problematic. But I want to say the opening sequence of Baby Driver is like chef's kiss. It is so like one of the best opening sequences ever. Like film schools should study it because it is so well done. That said, I think there are some like pacing issues in it. Lastly, I watched Sherlock Holmes: A Game of Shadows last night. I've seen the first Sherlock Holmes, and I literally was like deep in my Netflix trying to find something to watch because I was like losing my mind not being able to pick anything. And who wants to guess what my thoughts are? It was all right. It was okay. There were some pacing issues. I want to say this one is really gay. There's like a lot of tension between Watson and Sherlock where it's like something's up there for sure. But the plot is like a little too convoluted and the pacing is like all over the place. It's kind of like a weirdly abrupt ending. So that was the last movie I watched. That was my 83rd movie, so I have 17 movies left to watch. A few nights ago, I picked out my next book I'm gonna read, so cue that clip. Hey guys, so I realized this is the worst lighting you've ever seen in your whole entire life, but that's how the cookie crumbles, I suppose. I am going to pick, sorry, my floor is cold. I'm trying to get my blankie around me. I'm here at my TBR shelves to pick a new one. Whoa, that's beautiful. Okay, kind of an unexpected choice. I'm gonna read Foolish Hearts by Emma Mills. I got this book in a Owl Crate box, like who even knows how long ago. But so I got this little card in it that has her signature in it, or on it. This cover is absolutely gorgeous, the prettiest thing ever. Okay, welcome back. Well, I've sat down with this book twice now. I'm on page 48 right now, and it's only like 300 something pages. It's really not very thick. I like it so far. I like the main character, so I'll let you know my thoughts when I'm a little bit farther into it, into Foolish Hearts. Ciao, Bella. Okay guys, I'm really sorry. If you can't see me, I can't fucking see you. Oh god, okay, I really hope I'm in focus. It is like 10:30 on a Monday night, and I just finished this beautiful, beautiful book. I don't remember if I showed you this or not. I apologize if I already did, but the underneath of this is so beautiful. So I read this book really, really fast. I told you about it this weekend, and I think I started on like, I don't even know, to be honest, Friday maybe? I started on Friday, and today is Monday night, and I just finished it. I read like almost half this book tonight. Going in, I knew like pretty much nothing. So this follows Claudia. She comes from probably, I would guess, like a middle-class family. She goes to a private school because her dad teaches there, so she gets a significant discount. It's about, you know, fitting in high school and relationships in high school and self-doubt, sacrifice, and just relationships in general. I think I like adore books that are about relationships. Like the main focus is relationships, and I don't even mean romantic. I mean platonic relationships, elders and younger people. There's such beautiful, beautiful, beautiful platonic relationships in this book. And if this can tell you anything, I am not a huge high school girly. Like this book takes place in high school, and since I am so far out of high school, I graduated college last year, so I'm like almost 5 years out of high school. So like I just don't have a huge interest in like high school narratives because it's like I've been there, done that. But that just tells you how good this book is. I think my favorite thing about this, and it is so integral to my existence and how I think people should be, is there's a lot in this book about each other's interests. So for example, Claudia is really into an online game that's kind of like World of Warcraft. Claudia's friends within this book will listen to her talk about it and start playing the game with her because they know she loves it. And then there's another person in here, Iris, who Claudia starts being friends with. And Iris is really, really into this band. The acronym is TION, T-I-O-N, which I don't know if this is on purpose, but to me, it's kind of like a nod to One Direction, because Direction ends with T-I-O-N, and the acronym for this band is T-I-O-N. So, and it's like a boy band, and there's 5 of them. And Iris is obsessed with TION. And to bond with Iris, Claudia starts watching videos about TION. She starts listening to their songs and their albums so she can engage with Iris about this topic that she loves. And to me, that is like my love language. Like that is the #1 thing you can do for a person, is engage with their interests. And like you don't have to love the thing, but like to show that you care enough about the person to be interested in their interests is so beautiful to me. And so there's a lot of that in this book. I wish people were talking about this because I loved it. I rated it 5 stars. So with that, I have 2 more books to go. I leave tomorrow for Wisconsin to Love and to Loathe by Martha Waters. Hey guys, so I'm editing this video right now and I realized I never spoke about To Love and to Loathe, the book I just mentioned. So I don't know how I missed it because I've been talking about everything so in depth, but I did miss it. I read To Love and to Loathe next. Part of the reason why I might have missed it is because I read it while I was traveling home, so obviously that was like a pretty busy time. To Love and to Loathe, from what I remember of it, the target audience would probably be people who enjoy Pride and Prejudice, Bridgerton, Emma, which is another Jane Austen novel, so like any Jane Austen novel really, but how Bridgerton is told. I didn't love the book because I thought it was kind of corny. Romance novels are typically relatively formulaic, like you kind of know what's gonna happen. So there was like a few things I really liked about it, like there was a hide and seek scene that I thought was like kind of nice that like wasn't typical in romance novels. That's all I wanted to really say. I don't know how I didn't talk about it, but that was kind of my general feelings. Thanks. That's all I have to say. I really need to go pack. Hugs and kisses. Thank you for watching. Mwah. I'm thinking I might need to start a new column soon. Okay, hey guys. So I'm coming to you from my childhood bedroom. I am home for Christmas. I have been home for like quite a while now, actually. It's been a second since I updated you, but I figured I would kind of give you the lowdown of where I am with books and movies. I've watched like a shit ton of movies since I last talked to you. Today is the 28th. This is just really not quite like me to be this far behind, but I did have like a lot of life changes this year. So I have read 29 books, so I only need 1 more book to hit my goal of 30. And I watched 91 movies. Okay, so 9 movies left. Since being home, I have continued reading Uncommon Type by Tom Hanks. I actually started this before I left for Boston when I moved, with the idea of finishing it when I came home for Christmas break, because it's a short story collection, so it's not like I need to be remembering what happened. Right now, I am on page 225. I'm about 55% done. I really want to like finish this so fucking bad, and I think I can because like 4 days is kind of a long time. The thing is though, I hate this book. I think this might be my least favorite book I've ever read potentially, and if I wasn't trying to hit this goal, I think I would DNF this book, but I think I'm just gonna finish it off because I can like read these stories relatively quickly. Yeah, I'll talk to you more about this once I actually finish it, but I don't like it. Like there's one story where it's about a girl who moves to New York because she wants to be on Broadway. The only way she's able to accomplish this goal, she's like about to give up, is because a man saves her and has connections in New York, and that's how she's able to like start getting roles. The man is gay, but there's literally a line in it where it's like, if he wasn't gay, I think I would have hopped in his bed and I might do it anyways, which is like just really not a thing you should say. And in that story, it mentions the girl's boobs like 5 times. And it's literally not relevant to the story. It's things like that like, I'm just like, what are we doing here? I watched Beauty and the Beast 2017, so the live action like Emma Watson version, while I was getting ready to leave. It held up a lot worse than I remembered watching it the first time. Like I've seen it before. This time I did not like it. The whole concept of like the Stockholm Syndrome, I couldn't get past it this time. Obviously, I'm not the target audience for this movie, but I was just like, ooh, this is not good, that she's literally falling in love with this person who was horrible to her and literally captured her. Much to think about. I then watched Top Gun Maverick again, which is my 3rd time this year, which is kind of unhinged, but that's the first movie I watched when I came home, and it was like my mom wanted us to watch it as a family because it like everyone in the family likes it in some capacity, you know, it's like a movie that everyone's gonna enjoy, and it did feel a little bit cheesier the 3rd time, but I think it's still like it's a good movie. Moving on. I then watched Arthur Christmas, which is an A-tier Christmas movie for me. My go-to Christmas movies that like I want to watch every year are Arthur Christmas. Klaus now has entered that category, and Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. I also honorable mention like watching one of the older versions of The Grinch. It's such a good new Christmas movie. It's like a family of Santa Clauses. So the eldest son is Steve, and then the younger son is Arthur. And so Arthur is just really, really passionate about Christmas. and it is Christmas Day and everyone gets their presents, but one girl was missed. Her present wasn't delivered, and so it's kind of the story of getting the present delivered and kind of seeing different perspectives on what matters during Christmas. I rewatched Klaus, which I don't think I've ever watched all the way through. It's a really interesting animation style. You know how like Christmas movies tend to have a lot of plot holes where it's like parents don't believe in Santa Claus, but somehow they get presents delivered to their house every year. Klaus I really like because it's kind of like almost like an explanation for all the Christmas tradition. So it explains how Santa started delivering gifts, how like the flying reindeer came to be. The main character is like super Cusco coded from The Emperor's New Groove. It's a really fun Christmas movie. Then I watched The Princess Switched, which you can remember earlier in the video. I watched the original The Princess Switch. The second one is way worse. I don't recommend the second one at all. They also introduce a new, so if you don't remember from the first one, there's 2 Vanessa Hudgenses. Second movie, they introduce a third Vanessa Hudgens, so there's 3 of them. So you can see how that could be a bit more corny. Then I watched Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. I've watched this movie 1,000 times. Harry Potter was really integral to my childhood. Then I watched Lightyear, and I watched this 2 days ago. I have like mixed feelings about Lightyear, so if you don't know, it's like, you know, like the Toy Story movies, it's Buzz Lightyear's kind of origin story. So the movie opens saying Andy from Toy Story, he got this Buzz Lightyear toy from his favorite movie in 1995. This movie you're watching is Andy's favorite movie, so it's like supposed to be the movie Andy watched that made him love Buzz Lightyear. And I think the first like 20 minutes are really good. Like the origin story, I think is great, and it kind of becomes like a buddy cop film. I didn't love it, I guess. I also thought they picked some people with some really recognizable voices, which I like kind of wouldn't have done personally. They picked Keke Palmer, who I love Keke Palmer, but again, she has a really distinct voice, so I could tell right away that it was Keke Palmer. And they also have Taika Waititi play one of the main people. And again, Taika Waititi has such a distinct accent that you could just, it kind of like pulled you out a little bit because you were like, oh yeah, I know who these people are and I know what they look like in real life. Lastly, my 91st movie I watched last night, and it was I Love My Dad. So I Love My Dad, the reason I watched it is because I follow Claudia Sulewski, and she is in this movie, and she talked about how it premiered at South by Southwest, which is like a pretty well-known film festival, and this movie did pretty well at South by Southwest, and I kind of get it. I didn't personally love it, but I thought it was like effective storytelling. Like I was interested the whole time I was watching it. But this movie does possess like cringe comedy. Like I would categorize it as cringe comedy. The last 20 minutes, I literally had to watch like this and keep looking away because I was so like cringed and anxious. So just be aware if you're gonna watch this. It's on Hulu. The synopsis of it, really quickly, there is a son who is like around high school age. Father, played by Patton Oswalt, is estranged. He's trying to connect with his son. His dad has like a negative effect on him, and so he blocks his dad. And so his dad creates an account pretending to be a girl to follow his son and to stay connected with his son. And so they start talking. The son starts getting kind of feelings for the dad's fake profile. So there's like a lot of like kind of like stuff in it. That is my update so far. Hi guys, the deed is finally done. It's the 30th. I just finished this horrible book. I started eating carrots. I thought I wouldn't fall asleep because I was falling asleep reading the second to last story. But I'm done. Today I'm here to end this video, give you the update on how I did in 2022. So today is January 3rd. I am back in Boston right now. Let me just quickly recap where I was. So the last book I was reading was Uncommon Type by Tom Hanks. And as you know, I was not enjoying it, but I did finish it. It was such a relief to finish it. I did write a whole review on Goodreads, so I think I'm gonna start putting my Goodreads in the description if you're interested in following me. This book did make me question a lot about Tom Hanks because like the morals of this book were not great. Like every woman in the story, even if they were main characters, she was somehow usually saved or willingly controlled by a man. She was always rail thin, like that was often used, rail thin or like very skinny. There's a lot of like racial issues in this too, I think. There's a story where a single mom moves to a new neighborhood and she's meeting like the neighbors, and one of the neighbors come over and the husband's like, oh yeah, and the Patels live over there, but I don't know their names. I just call them the Patels because their names are too hard, they hurt my tongue. And it's like one thing to mispronounce a name and then learn from it and then call them the correct name. Like it's one thing because like even me coming from a small town, I sometimes struggle. Like where I work in an environment where there's a lot of international people, and so I sometimes have a hard time with their names. But it's like someone tells me one time, I'm gonna remember. And so it's like, I think it's okay to learn, but it's like really another thing to be willfully ignorant. So I thought that was like a really disrespectful line. And then the main character, the single mom, is after he says that, she's like, oh, I'm gonna like these people. Like, oh, these people are great. There's just like a lot of stories like that where it's like ignorant things are said about the minority characters. I gave it 1 star. I really don't recommend this book. Okay, now to wrap up movies, and we're gonna speed run this because I can't shut the fuck up, and all of my clips are always like 15 minutes long now. I don't consider this cheating, but it's like the easy route for sure in my opinion. The next thing I watched was the Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special. So it's a special, so that depends on if you count that as a movie or not. The Guardians of the Galaxy special, I believe, is 40 minutes. It's 45 minutes, so it's like shorter than like a typical movie, but I still felt like it justified being included. I thought it was really funny. If you've seen any of the Guardians of the Galaxy and like the characters, then I think this one is great. I thought it was really cute. I gave it 4.5 stars. You don't care. If you like Guardians of the Galaxy, any of the Avenger movies, I say watch it. Moving on. The next thing I watched was Ice Age, which is like a very integral movie to me growing up. We had it on like the VCR. I can picture the VCR case, like the white plastic so clearly in my head. Haven't seen the first one in forever. I love Ice Age. I think the characters are really funny and I like the writing usually, and it's just really cute. I watched National Treasure, which I was on my Disney Plus grind. I just never look at Disney Plus, and so I was having a good time because I think Christmas time is a good like fun Disney movie vibe, so I was kind of just going with it. I have seen National Treasure before. I don't remember Diane Kruger and Nicolas Cage getting together, and I think that is wholly uncalled for. I think that's a really weird coupling. I don't think they seem like they'd be together. If anything, I think Diane Kruger would end up with the guy who plays, I think Diane Kruger's character would end up with the character Riley, personally. Then I watched Nomadland. Nomadland won Best Picture last year, and I'm trying to watch every single Best Picture winner. So this is with Frances McDormand. She plays a person named Fern. If that radiator is really loud, I am really sorry. Boston apartment vibes. Pretend you're watching some ASMR. So it's Frances McDormand, and she comes from a town where she used to work at a factory with her husband, and the factory closed, and the town was kind of just like discontinued. Like kind of like everyone was dependent on the job, so everyone left. And Fern's husband died, and so she is now a nomad. She's living in her car, and it's kind of her experience as a woman on the road, interacting with other nomads, interacting with people who knew her before she became a person who lived in her car. Then the next day I watched Atlantis: The Last Empire, which again, Atlantis is underrated, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Nobody has ever seen Atlantis. This is back again when I was on my Disney grind. We used to watch it all the time, me and my siblings, and nobody knows about Atlantis, and I really like it. I really like Milo's character. It's like about the lost city of Atlantis, and so Milo is like a researcher. Him and like a crew get funded to go look for Atlantis where Milo thinks it is. But so there's like some major colonizer vibes in it that I think are not great. So there's definitely issues with it, but I think Milo comes at it from the right place, but some other characters don't. Then I watched Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets, and I'm just gonna say I watched Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban right after. I watched this with my parents. I watched at least like 20 minutes of every single Harry Potter movie over Christmas break. So I've seen them all like a lot. I just love these movies. I've seen them like 1,000 times. I only counted the first 3 movies because those are the only ones I actually watched all the way through. The third one's my favorite Harry Potter movie, so I just love getting to watch that one whenever I can. So, and then on the last day of the year, I watched National Treasure: Book of Secrets, which is the second National Treasure movie, and it's basically the same movie over again. Like, I can't lie, it has very similar plot points, but I like the first one, so I like the second one. You know, I had a good time with the second one, and I gave it 3 stars. Then the last movie I watched was Big Hero 6, which I'm stoked on. I have never seen Big Hero 6 before, but I've heard such good things about it. I love the main character Hero, and I hope that a second movie comes out. So it kind of becomes like an ensemble movie towards the back half, and there's like a few people who kind of take over, and it's not just like Hero, it's like a group. If I could choose, I would make it more about Hiro and less about the group, because I personally didn't have a lot of like interest in the other characters, but I really liked Hiro, and they kind of like pull away from some of the things that are like really great about him, I think. I was like laughing out loud so much. My mom started laughing at me in the kitchen because I was laughing so hard in the living room. I really recommend that, but that is actually my 100th movie. So I finished that goal in time too. So that was it. Please, 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 please comment if you have watched or read any of the things I talked about, what you're looking forward to reading or watching in the new year, in this upcoming year. Thank you for watching. Subscribe if you want to see more. I have some exciting videos coming soon, I hope. I just need to start editing. Thanks for watching. Hugs and kisses, peace, love, and happiness. And I'll see you in the next one. Mwah. That was the most YouTuber sign out I've ever done. So I'm gonna try not to do that next time.